All right, so really easy topic we're going to talk about next, and that's adding and subtracting polynomials. Probably one of my favorite things to do. So what we have to do in order to add a polynomial, we'll talk about adding first because it's something you guys are going to like a lot. So let's say we had the polynomial 3x squared plus 5x plus 7. And let's add that to another polynomial, and let's just make up one. How about x squared minus 3x plus 2? That seems easy enough. So to combine or add polynomials, it's very similar to something we learned last lesson, and that was called combining like terms. All we're going to do here is identify, since it's adding, first we got to look at that in the middle and make sure it's adding, but all we're going to do is we're going to take the x squared term and add it to the x squared term. So here we know that this is going to be 3 plus, and this is understood to be a 1. So 3 plus 1 would be 4x squared. Next, we would have 5x. So you've got 5x, and then we want to find the x term, which is negative 3x. So 5 plus negative 3 is going to give us positive 2x. And then lastly, we have this 7 plus 2. So 7 plus 2 is going to be positive 9. And then we have our answer written in order from least to greatest, and that was a pretty simple problem. Now, let's take up another one, and you can try this one. Just pause the video and try this problem. Well, let's say, what if we had, and sometimes they won't put parentheses around them. Let's say they give you this, 3x squared minus 2x plus 3 plus, now let's put parentheses just in case. All right, but let's say they did, I don't know, negative 7x squared plus 2x minus 10. See if you can do that problem pausing the video now. All right, so you should have had enough time to go through and try this problem if you pause the video. So let's look and figure out what the answer is. So we start with our x squareds. So we have 3x squared plus negative 7x squared. So 3 plus negative 7, that's going to give us negative 4x squared. Then we have our x squared and our x's and our x's. So here we have negative 2 plus 2. What happens with negative 2 plus 2? They cancel. Very good. So here negative 2 plus 2 is actually 0. So do we need to write anything for x's since those cancel? No, we can leave it blank. 0x would just be 0. So we can just leave it blank and not represent anything in there so that it represents 0. And then lastly, we have 3 plus negative 10. So 3 plus negative 10 should give us an answer of negative 7. So when you work this out, you should come up with an answer of negative 4x squared minus 7. All right, so we should be good so far. Two very simple problems here, but you just have to know basically how to combine like terms to get your answer. So let's look at a couple problems with subtraction. So with subtraction, let's make up a couple problems real quick. Let's say we have 3x squared minus 2x plus 7 minus, I don't know, we could do anything. Let's do 8x squared plus 5x minus 3. Now, the key here is that we no longer have an addition symbol in the middle. We have subtraction. So in order for us to make this work, the first thing we have to do is take that negative and distribute it to each term in the problem. Now, the front stays the same because it's understood to be positive. That's why there's nothing out here in the front. It stays positive, so we can rewrite it. That's going to be 3x squared minus 2x plus 7. And then when we multiply this negative times a negative, or we take and distribute the negative, obviously negative times negative becomes positive. So inside of all this, we've got to multiply it all times a negative. So really we're just changing the sign. So what's negative times 8? Negative 8. And then we tack on our x squared. What's positive 5x times negative? Negative 5x. And then what's negative times negative 3? Positive 3. So really you can see we just changed all the signs. Now from here it's pretty simple because what do we have in the middle? Addition. Very good. So since we have addition, All we have to do now is just like our previous problems, is combine like terms. So we have 3x squared plus negative 8x squared. So 3 plus negative 8 is going to be negative 5x squared. Negative 2x plus negative 5x. So negative 2 plus 5 is going to be negative 7x. And then lastly, we have 7 plus 3, and 7 plus 3 is going to give us 10. So like I said, when we combine like terms, we have to make sure there's addition in the middle. If there's not addition, we have to take the negative and distribute it to each part so that we know what we're working with when we work with a problem. Let's have you try one. Let's make up one more. All right, so let's say, what if we had, let's do this. Let's do some big numbers, big dog problem here. What if we had 10x squared minus 5x, let's not do square. Let's actually take that back. All right, let's just do negative 5x, and then let's do plus 20. So that's going to be our first one. Then let's do minus 7x squared. Let's make that a negative 7x squared, just to see what happens. All right, minus 20x minus, let's do 17. We'll do all negatives in that one. And let's see if you can work that problem out. I'm going to give you some time. Go ahead and click pause on your video so that you can see, have some time to work it out. And then when you're ready to continue, just go ahead and re-click the play button and you should find out the answer. All right, welcome back. So real quick, to do this problem, the first thing is I'm going to rewrite everything in front because it has no sign in it to be distributed, so it's all going to stay the same. So that's 10x squared minus 5x plus 20. Now, when we distribute this negative, we know that negative times negative is going to be positive, so that's going to change to a positive sign. And then basically distribute the negative to everything in the parentheses. This makes it kind of easy. What's negative times negative 7? Positive 7. All right, what's negative times negative 20? Positive 20. What's negative times negative 17? Positive 17. So combining like terms is actually very simple here because that whole second half changed to positive. So let's see what we get as our answers when we simplify this out or combine like terms. So we've got 10x squared plus 7x squared. That's going to be 17x squared. We have negative 5x plus 20x, which is going to be positive 15x. And then we have 20 plus 17. 20 plus 17 is actually going to give us positive 37. Everything is in order from greatest to least by exponent, so we know our answer is going to be 17x squared plus 15x plus 37. So this is basically our lesson for adding and subtracting polynomials. Once again, I said it was a very simple thing you could do, but if you have any questions about it, please contact me. Just let me know. You can email me or you can see me in class and ask questions. But if you need to see it again, rewatch the video. I can't stress that enough. And like I said, it should be a pretty easy topic. If you have questions, let me know. I want to answer your questions. So please, please, please make sure you're asking questions. But if you're ready and you feel good about it, if you want to rewatch the video, that's okay. But if you feel good and you're ready to move on, you can go ahead and attempt some of the assessments that I have for you. So go ahead and try some of the assignments, work some of the assessments, and see how you can do on it, okay? Find out if you can do this, and if you have problems or you don't understand how you missed a problem, come see me and I'll explain it to you. Thanks.